Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Sri Ramakrishna is telling to the devotees, the Sandhya merges in Gayatri, the Gayatri in Om. A man is firmly established in spiritual life when he goes into Samadhi uttering Om only once. Sandhya merges in Gayatri. Sandhya is a ritual which the Hindus follow in 3 times a day: morning when the sun rises, when the night is ending and day is beginning, at dawn, at dusk when the sun is setting and night is setting in. So this in the afternoon when the sun is crossing the zenith, the pre-noon and post-noon are meeting. So these 3 intervals, they think of the divine in the presence of nature. Nature is so favorable at that time. Everything is calm. All the birds and animals are just waking up from their long sleep at night and just opening their eyes to see the dawn is appearing. There is silence still. Small birds are chirping and nature is participating as if nature herself is singing the glory of God. Similarly, at dusk, you will see all animals and birds are returning to their nests and holes to spend the night. All things return back. The last bee also returns to its beehive, and the whole thing is calm. A kind of hush appears, just promising the sun is setting, I will come back in the morning. So take rest now. So that hour where there is another hush coming in to make the people and all beings enter into the resting time. Here we see in the afternoon also. From morning, animals start grazing. Birds are searching for their food. When it is noon, all sit under the tree or hear their cows and other animals. They go on chewing the cud, and birds come and take little rest, closing their eyes and sitting on some branches. Again, after an hour or 2, around 3 o'clock, you'll see all birds are back to feed themselves whatever available for the last quarter of the day. So, these 3 hours, a human, if he is little spiritually sensitive, he will see that the divine is presenting in a secret way, touching the hearts of the devotees who are tuned to nature and tuned to the divine. Their heart just feels so joy, so calmness. The strain and stresses of the worldly life, which is a constant warlike situation, all things are healed for that moment. So that the divine presence, you must have that spiritual sensitivity, which most of the people are missing. They're extremely sensitive to the world and worldly possessions and enjoyments, but they're not sensitive to the spiritual world, which is eternal and beyond. Just look at the people in the houses itself. There is a dog or a puppy. Everybody passing through just make some sound to it, wish it. That also will be wagging the tail. But a photo is there of God or deity. When we are passing, the attention doesn't go to bow down there or just to feel the presence of the divine. How many photos and pictures of saints and devatas hang in their houses, but attention is not there. The whole attention is there because that spiritual sensitivity is not there. Those who are spiritually sensitive, the moment they see a Krishna's, even calendar, printing on calendars, or a photograph of Rama or Krishna, or any Devata, or even scriptures here, there, hanging, some religious signs, they just stand, or just while going, just feel its presence. Because of the spiritual sensitivity, people are extremely sensitive to the world, and their sensitivity to spirituality is zero. That is why they are not feeling themselves divine or be able to manifest the inner divinity. So this, Sri Ramakrishna is saying, this, what is done during the 3 hours is called Gayatri. Gayatri is Sandhya. Sandhya is the evening rituals. Gayatri is the mantra that is uttered during these hours. There will be small ritual of purification of the 3 bodies, purification of our external vision of the world, and trying to repeat a mantra called Gayatri mantra, which is a prayer with a promise, a prayer to awaken the spiritual consciousness. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. May you awaken my spiritual consciousness. What is the promise I give? Dhimahi. I meditate upon you. You awaken my spiritual consciousness. I understand God. I meditate on Him. May Him enlighten me. May Him give the spiritual awakening. That prayer. Tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. That light which illumines the whole world. Tat savituhu. This, there is Savitra, a sun also, sun god, which we usually say. The sun that lights the whole world early in the morning, rising sun, to the setting sun, is illumining the whole world of ours, the visible world to us. Now, this light, the Savitra is one who is self-illumined, for it doesn't need anything that doesn't need a light to illuminate. But it illumines everything. Nobody needs a torch to see the sun. But sun illumines the whole world the moment it rises up. Sunrise, you see start. Sunset, you see the whole thing, darkness sets in. So that which is self-luminous, which doesn't need any other light to identify it, is self-luminous and illumines all other things, is called Savitra. This Savitra. Tat Savituhu. That Savitra. What is that Savitra? That is which is beyond this universe, which is the cause of this universe with all beings and in which it dissolves back. That Savitra. That absolute existence, unchanging, eternal reality. To identify that we don't have anything, we don't have skill, we don't have intelligence. Intelligence cannot reach it, mind cannot reach it, senses cannot reach it. So what do we say is, Tat Savitur Varenyam, Before that telling, we say Bhur Bhuvaswaha. Bhuhu, this visible word, Bhuvaha, beyond that, the subtle and the causal existence, Bhu Bhuvaswaha. Just like pertaining to our waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Waking, there is physical world. Dreaming, there is psychic world. And in deep sleep, there is the where I am going to leave all my identities and our knowledge before I separate from the whole Prakriti nature. At night while sleeping, I separate from gross, I settle from subtle, I separate from causal and become one with the universal consciousness every day. The gross, subtle and causal is called Sthula, Sukshma, Karana. These three are pervaded. You can understand what is your waking state, dreaming state and deep sleep. Beyond that you cannot understand. What happens? Deep sleep, up to that I can understand. I am not experiencing the deep sleep, but there is a vritti, manasika vritti, which shows the absence of everything. Nothing exists. That awareness is that awareness. No mind we are left back. Suddenly, subtle body, only one awareness, nothing exists. Remains in the deep sleep. So these three, gross, subtle and causal, Bhu Bhu Swaha, at the cosmic level, at the individual level. These three are identified. Mind can understand. Beyond that, mind cannot understand. So, everything is in seed form, that's all, in causal. My identity is there, but it has entered seed form. It has to be awakened again. Beyond that, my identity is not there. I am spiritual existence, pure spirit. So, these three levels, we can understand to some extent. Waking, we can clearly understand. Dreaming, we can understand to a certain extent. But how does the dream world produce? Mind produces the dream world. Mind itself becomes a dream world. That part we may not be able to understand clearly. That is the power of Maya, which unique to the universal consciousness and the dream consciousness. Mind creates itself. Mind itself becomes a world. How does it become? We don't know. But physical world we can see. There is cause and law of cause and effect. There in law of cause and effect I cannot understand or apply. It goes in a haphazard way. And in deep sleep, I can understand, because I see other person not responding to, or scientifically, there is no, the movements of the eye. When sleeping, if the movements of the eyeball is there in sleep, he is seeing dream. The movements of the eyes, it is recognized. How minimum 16 dreams will be there every day for each individual. The last one usually they remember. So this number of dreams he is passing through is measured by the movements within the eye. It will be reflecting, the movements will be reflecting. Then it becomes calm and steady, deep sleep. This gross, subtle and causal we can understand. Beyond we cannot understand. But that light pertains to Tat Savituhu, pertains to the beyond, the transcendental realm, where we don't have access or understand because there is no time and space. Anything within time and space we can understand, not beyond. So, because it is beyond Tat Savituhu, we bring the three, it is something that is pervading these three. It is pervading these three. Now, I don't know my spiritual existence, but I can understand, oh, a consciousness is pervading the physical body. I come to, when the consciousness, I am conscious now, this consciousness is withdrawn, I enter, it separates. Consciousness pervading the three bodies, I am in waking state. Conscious withdrawn from the physical body, I am in dream state. Still withdrawn from the mind and senses, the subtle body, I am in deep sleep. This we can understand. There is a conscious, there is a consciousness. I cannot understand, I cannot see my consciousness, but the conscious is projecting to waking state, withdrawing, retracting to the causal level and remains there. This consciousness I can understand only because it is pervading. This is manifested consciousness. What is existential consciousness? We can never know because it pertains to the realm transcendental. I can never know who is sun, but sunshine I am able to see within the room. Or sunlight at least. If sunshine is outside, I am able to have a glimpse inside the room, inside the house. I can at least get the sunlight. From the sunlight in the morning, I can understand there is something called sun. Suppose you are locked from birth to death within a hall or within a house where you have no opportunity to go out at all. You can understand there is a thing called sun which appears at particular hours a day and disappears. So this understanding, this much understanding alone we can have about the absolute indicator. The light inside the house, the sunlight in the daytime is a sign or is the proof of there is something called sun. Who is outside, who can go outside, they go and see and come, and there is a sun which lights, which is light itself, they say. Then we can understand, but we won't be able to see unless we go out. So concentrating on that, Tat Savituhu, that sun, which is beyond all this, which is the cause of the universes and dissolution, its power is making everything without involving. The sun rises, all people get to start doing work. It is not asking anyone to get up or do work. Anybody can do anything. A forgery they can do service, they can love, they can move, but sun is not responsible, nor is affected by it. Like that, universes appear, disappear, without affecting the absolute existence. In space, so many objects exist, and so many objects again go back to its causal form in the space, our physical space. But it doesn't affect the space. Space remains space, untouched by the objects that are there inside the space. Like that, the absolute never gets changed or affected by the universes appearing and disappearing in it. Your brain or mind doesn't get worked up. If thoughts start flowing, good thoughts, bad thoughts may be flowing, but brain is as it is. It is. Computer is as it is. There may be fire in the screen. It is not affected. Now when you put on the TV, you will see somewhere bombs blasting and all that. Nothing happens to your cell phone or TV. Oh, you will never go and put water because the fire is there inside. Nothing. It doesn't affect. Like that, universe appear and disappear without affecting the screen, the absolute existence in which all this appear and disappear. So that Tat Savitru, that absolute existence which I understand, which I try to understand, at least. Tat Savitru Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya, that its light alone I can understand. His light on meditate upon. Bharga is light. Devasya, which is self-luminous and illumines everything. I am. I am able to understand because it is. If it is not there, I am is not there. If mirror is not there, reflection is not there. So that's its light alone I understand. My light alone I understand. I am awake, I am sleeping, I am experiencing dream. I can understand the light of the consciousness. Consciousness itself I cannot know. Like that. That's Bharga, that alone, Bharga which is there, which is illuminating everything, which is making everything move, and people are able to talk, birds are able to chirp, they are able to find their food, eat, bear, all things are happening. By whose light? Lives are going on. By whose light? That light I meditate upon. Bharga, Devasya Devayan, I can only do that much. You awaken my spiritual consciousness that I am able to see the transcendental. I am able to enter into the transcendental. This is the prayer of Gayatri. This constant prayer. I meditate upon you, your light. I can't see you. There is a light I understand because everything is going on. World is moving. Sun is rising and setting. Everything is happening because there is a conscious material beyond the materialistic world. So that I meditate upon that light which is making everything possible. So that light I meditate upon, Dhemahi, that may that light which is making everything move and act and remain, giving existence to all that exists, that light may it awaken me spiritually. Dhiyaha yaha naha prachodayat. Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. May it awaken our, not only mine, our spiritual hearts, awaken spiritual consciousness in us, that I am able to see the beyond, I am able to enter, transcend this nature and see the beyond, experience the beyond directly. So this prayer is called Gayatri. Gayatri is a prayer. Going on, praying, praying, praying. Slowly it merges in Om. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om. As you get absorbed slowly, that light, that light, that light, that light, slowly that Om is identifying with that light. Words are not necessary now. This is Gayatri is merging in Om. Om, Gayatri is meaning, giving meaning. Now when you identify, then there is no need of words anymore. Without words I am conveying that Om. I am trying to enter into it and see. I am trying to tear it and see what it is, that Om. It is within this, because there is absolute silence and peace in that. The transcendental peace, the transcendental love, the transcendental bliss is shining forth. That opens up slowly. And there, so we enter into a kind of silence that words are not necessary. We are able to identify it. Om itself is indicating that all words, what is indicating and what is praying, all things are going on simultaneously. I'm just identifying directly as if I'm speaking. Awaken me, reveal yourself to me. That kind of prayer. Then the words are no more. The longing of the heart, the love and dedication, the desire to see alone remain. Now there is Om without words. And mind also becomes still. because there is no function of the mind necessary now. Only intellect alone, buddhi. Buddhi, they filled with the consciousness. It is aware of only one entity, non-dual attention, undiverted attention of the Om. It is slowly expanding in it. It is just Om was just an entering door, and that Om is expanding internally. Gayatri merges in Om, Om merges in the Absolute. Sandhya merges in Gayatri. The rituals part is emerging in Gayatri. Gayatri alone remains. And Gayatri in Om. Om, the Absolute, which expands into the Absolute. A man is firmly established in spiritual life when he goes into Samadhi on uttering Om. Samadhi, uttering Om. He is uttering Om, and then slowly he is expanding into infinity. He is entering the transcendental. He is crossing the border of Prakriti, nature. It opens up into the infinite. That is the Om is slowly. Om is just expansion into infinite. A Bindu expands into infinite. Similarly, Bindu, the infinity shrinks into Bindu to become this universe. I am transcending the universe, Prakriti, going to Bindu and expanding. Whole creation, expanding and contraction to the optimum and back into the Absolute is called Om. Om as the creative principle, Om as the resolutive principle. Om at individual level is where we cross the limitations of nature and enter into the transcendental. Everywhere we see that Om. Now we are entering into that Om. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.